So I'm going to have Brent come up here. He's going to walk you through some drive cam clips and some right side clearance clips, and appreciate you all coming in this morning and spend some time with us. Thank you.
Jason Hovney, your security officer. Try to stay with me here. I've got a bit of a sugar hangover this morning due to the lack of trick-or-treaters. Anybody else in that boat with me? Yeah? The low-carb gods are very upset with me today. So I apologize for that. So let's start. You know what? Screw the script. Any operators in here drove in September? Drove bus in September or shuttle van? Wow. That's amazing. 0.68. That's like one preventable accident every 150,000 miles. And the month prior to that, I mean, you cut it in half. So you guys got this. Stop right there. That's the kind of stuff I brag about our operators for nationwide. I've been bragging nationwide for years about you folks. And man, it's all coming true. You're using that triple LC. And nice job, everybody. Let's look at some drive cam stuff here, okay, to start out. We're still getting quite a bit of drive cam triggers, and number one is late response, which can really be tied into a lack of following distance. Late response is you're following a vehicle, they begin braking, you're taking longer than 1.5 seconds to begin braking also. So ideally you have good following distance, they begin braking, you begin braking, they're slowing, you're slowing. You're not coming up behind them like this. When you're coming up behind them like that, you're going to get triggered for late response because you're going to have that hard braking, right? So that's our number one. We've got to work on that. Keep an eye on that vehicle ahead of you. As soon as they begin braking, you begin braking. Number two, stopping past the limit line. Everybody's like, well, God, you know, it's just a limit line. Well, there's a reason the line is there. They wouldn't put them there if there wasn't a reason. Put that intersection awareness. 50% of your serious collisions happen where? In an intersection. 20% across this country, fatalities are happening in intersections. So we always want you to approach every intersection, whether there's a light or it's an uncontrolled or stop sign, it's four-way, two-way, cautiously, foot covering the brakes, scanning and stop before the intersection limit line, okay? If you're not doing that, if you're stopping past, you're not approaching cautiously enough. And we really want you to approach cautiously, so that's our number two, approach those intersections cautiously, folks. Number three is the following distance. That number's down, but I can, like I said, on the late response, I can pretty much tie them all in together. Following distance under 40 miles an hour in a 40-foot bus, how many seconds? How many seconds? 4 seconds, right? Over 40 miles an hour, 5 seconds. MCI?
Out a second.
5 seconds. And we have 60-foot coaches, I believe. They're called articulated buses, is that right? How many seconds is those? 6 seconds. That rear trailer, you'll brake, and that thing will push you and push you and push you. So don't set yourself up to fail. Use that follow. 90% of the accidents on I-5, I can guarantee you, are caused from a lack of following distance. All right, so back it up. And let's check out the cell phone stat. Look at that. 0, 0. So thank you for putting away your cell phone. Now you're getting it. Right on. Thank you. Driver unbelted. We're still getting a few of those, and that is the shoulder harness. And we've got 45 brand new buses out there. Gillick's brand new. They don't lock up, so don't use that excuse with me when you come back. All right. You gotta buckle up and you gotta wear them as designed, or you're gonna come back and see me after you have your hard braking, of course, or your turning corner is too fast. Speeding, gone down. Thank you very much. Appreciate you adhering to that. Many of our operators, here's what I was speaking about earlier, approaching intersections. Many of our operators are doing great things out there, and I've seen them quite a bit. Here's an example. Approaching a solid green light, South Hill. The driver takes a slight evasive maneuver and did a fantastic job. I think I've mentioned, and I've mentioned every day about covering the brake approaching intersection. Downtown Tacoma, solid green light. Again, this is why we prepare and approach cautiously. Would you agree that could have been a fatality? Yes. Had our driver been looking at their paddle? We have that policy here, waiting 2 seconds. You're sitting first in line. Light's red, you're thinking about mowing your lawn. Light turns green, 1001, 1002, left, right, left, and then we proceed, right?
Yep.
This is why. Light turns green, 1001, 1002. At the bottom of the screen. There's a pedestrian. That pedestrian right there. Due to the professionalism of our Pierce Transit operator, is not in the hospital or in the morgue or buried 6 feet underground. So nice job. Wait that 2 seconds. It will pay off, and I'll show you more evidence of that in a little bit. When you're driving, this could be a Sunday at 8 a.m. Is Sunday 8 a.m. driving a bus like the best time of day to ever drive a bus? Nobody's out there, right? But you got to still use that. Look ahead, look around, leave room, and communicate. Be alert. Even on pedestrians on sidewalks. You never know. Here we go. Now all of you folks, all you guys that drive bus, don't need me to stand up here and tell you that everybody outside your bus is a fool. Because we know this, right? Just from experience. Everybody else, and that's how you need to drive. Mr. Reese once headed up a program at a different agency where they had a saying that everybody outside your bus is a fool. And that's how you need to drive. And you know what? He's right. It's true. So keep that in mind. Another nice job. That was Stephanie. Is there a scooter, free scooters or e-scooters or something in Tacoma? There seem to be a lot of scooters. A lot of scooters out on the road. Be careful. Watch out for them. Uncontrolled intersection, North Tacoma. There you go. Wow. They're out there. Be safe. Cover that brake. Scan. Nice job. I was speaking earlier about waiting for 2 seconds. You guys, busway. Wow. Busway, buses only, but you know what? It's one of the most dangerous areas of all of our service areas. Waited 2 seconds, there's an elimination of a T-boat collision right there. Save lives. To date, those are so just a fraction of the good stuff we see all the time. To date, 260 Distinguished Driving Awards issued so far, so nice job. Thank you for that. What did I mention? Late response. Here's an example of a late response. Up by SeaTac Airport. Car wants to make a right turn. There's pedestrians crossing the street. Hang back. All right, as soon as you see those brakes, I mean, from where this began, you can't tell that those pedestrians are walking by. Okay, so hang back. Here's, yeah, I got a lot to say about this video. It could have better follow-on distance in the rain. This is late response combination of distracted driver. This operator is a seasoned shuttle veteran who in the very first year of drive cam never triggered the camera one time. Amazing! Not one time! And then this happened. So what happened here, this was a month or so ago. He was driving and he was looking at his M slate, looking down. Evidently there's some changes being made, but he looked down and looked at his M slate, looked up, and almost too late. Thank God he looked up when he did, right? Shuttle operators, greatest paratransit drivers in the nation here. Very rarely do they have an accident. You can always count on one hand how many accidents our paratransit shuttle operators have in a year. That's how great they are. They're great. Don't get caught up looking down at that M slate. Pull over at your next stop, wherever. Just don't fall into that trap, all right? Because tragedy. Late response on the freeway. Got to show you one of these, right? Good following distance. I mean, this is fair. what we want. However, so yeah, we want the following distance, but you got to look ahead still. That following distance, you know, that's great. That's what we need, but you still got to look ahead and brake sooner, okay? Here we have a 56th Street eastbound, Route 41. Late response, if there even is a response. Distracted driving. So when I came in that morning, I saw that, I literally almost fell out of my chair. So, what do you think's going on here? Local route. See the guy over there? There's a pedestrian to the right. The car wants to make a left turn. There's oncoming. They had to swerve. The left turning car had to go to the right. The operator was looking down at his paddle for his next time point. He was taking that Pierce Transit reading test and trying to you get to my age, yeah, throw it out the window, right? So don't, I know we do it, I know you do it. Do not look at that paddle while you're driving. Stop. The next bus stop, wherever. You've got thousands of bus stops out there. Don't do it while you're rolling, because that is a fine example right there of what can happen. Wouldn't you agree? You bet. This is something that happened recently. Less than 2 seconds of following distance combined with the late response, and I also have something to say about this. Shell Express operators, I know you want to get right over that carpool lane. You come up off Portland Avenue, getting on I-5, you want to shoot over, right? To get at the beginning of the carpool lane. Listen, when you have an opening ahead of you with clearing, and you can't move over, don't force it. Wait! Force himself forward. Look at all that following distance he had prior. So you got a combination of late response, less than 2 seconds of following distance, and there was one other issue that he told me about during an interview. He had turned off his retarder. Came out of the garage, approaching 512, South Tacoma Way, came up to a red light, and he felt the retarder was a little too strong. He flipped it off. Watching the video, as he's approaching the stopped cars, while his eyes are getting bigger and he's coming up, you can see his hand try to go back real quick. But it was way too late. He never got it. Yes, ma'am?
What does that mean for those of us who are drivers?
A retarder is a secondary braking on a bus that lessens the wear on your normal foot brake.
Like downshifting.
It's like downshifting. Once you let your foot up off the gas pedal, this retarder comes on and automatically kind of slows your bus down a little bit for you. It's an additional braking system. We do not turn it off until when? Snow and icy conditions, and that is with 612's permission. And the reason for that is because on ice and snow, if you take your foot off the gas and that thing engages, you could lose control, right? This way you've got full control with your foot. Yes, ma'am?
I was just curious how many vehicles got damaged.
I believe there was five vehicles involved. Hospitalization, and yeah, it was approach intersections with your foot covered in brake fluids. Even when it's solid red, I'll be right with you. Stop behind the intersection limit line, all right? So this, our operator here had plenty of time. Didn't appear to be distracted. He's zoning out. Looked straight ahead in a solid red and then caught it way too short. Who had a question?
What was the speed of the driver when he got caught? Speed.
I think initially it dropped, but I think at the time of the collision, it was like 15, 20 miles an hour. It had dropped down from 44, 45 down to 20 in that short braking. But still, 20 miles an hour with 20,000 plus pound vehicle. Remember the Dixie cups, Alton, we used to drink as kids, and then you squish it with your hand and throw it away? That's what a bus does to a car, right, my friend? Serious stuff here. Another example of why we should approach intersections cautiously, in addition to the 50% major injuries and 20% of fatalities. This is busway again. Friends at King County Metro had a T-bone accident when a guy ran a red light. So use caution up there, right, folks? I know people are running red lights, approaching intersections. They don't want to have a hard braking, so they don't come back and talk to the drive cam guy. Come back and talk to the drive cam guy, all right? Because you're going to get caught. There's several things that are going to happen to you. This driver here, he stopped past the line, should have stopped better. But this guy, yeah, I got the bus number. And yes, he can talk to the drive cam guy. And that time, that's all it went because the nose of his bus was in the intersection by this. I just couldn't get enough evidence. And listen, if he running a red, you're going to your assistant manager, and what they do, I don't know, I don't care. But I think the time, 4 or 5 minutes with me, is a lot better than having something like that on your radar. Okay? Let's watch it again. Approach cautiously. Go cover the brake. Stop before the intersection limit line. All right? Don't be this guy. This is nonsense. It's nonsense. That is not how we drive at Pierce Transit. If you're in your own personal vehicle, feel free. But if it says Sound Transit, Pierce Transit, or shuttle on it, go drive somewhere else. We're not having it. All right. This is the #1 incident or any type of event that I see where passengers are being caused forward. Drivers, you'll know.
I had that happen yesterday.
There you go. It happens daily. It happens. You can be the most professional operator on the planet, and this sort of stuff can happen because everybody outside your bus is a what? A fool. Get off my frequency, all right? They're not fools. They are fools. So listen, to try to bring it down, I don't think we'll ever eliminate it, but to try to reduce the risk. When you make that look left and you quick back to the right and then left again, look to see if that car coming up on the left is signaling right. Okay, let's do what we can.
We watched it again, I don't think he had a signal.
I'm sorry?
We watched it again, I don't think he had a signal.
He just came in.
We watched it again, I don't think he had it.
Sure. Oh, you can't tell the signal on the car anyway.
No, he didn't have a signal.
I'll show it again.
He just came right along. Lucky that guy wasn't walking around.
One out of the bus now. Be cautious. What is it? 96 in Hosmer, front 711 there. So we've all had it happen, right? Continuously. Try do what you can.